Book your driving lesson now at dla-driving.co.uk. Sponsored by DLA Driving School.
Hello and welcome to Oh When the Town, and here's what's coming up today. The season comes to an end away at Loftus Road as Luton go 3-1 down away at QPR. Not the ideal way to end the season, but what a year it has been. Today we discuss that game in more detail, and we also take a look at what a brilliant season Luton have had, finishing in the top half of the table above some massive teams below us. It's been a hell of a year, so today we'll have a look back at that with Dave and Batara as always. Evening, guys.
Evening.
Good evening, all. How are we?
It was an exciting weekend of Championship football, wasn't it? It was a final day which had it all to play for at the bottom of the table. Not much at our end, but
that's the best bit, though, isn't it?
Exactly.
It wasn't at our end. It wasn't us that was in trouble at all. So it's fantastic. So it's good to watch the other teams scrambling up or staying or going down. It's great.
We had a pretty good setup on Saturday, didn't we? We had Luton, QPR on one screen. We had Derby, Sheffield Wednesday on the other screen. And to be honest, we probably focused a little bit more on the game on the telly, but we did get to see a bit of the Luton game, didn't we?
Well, we've got two eyes, didn't we? So, I can go over there. I can go over there.
Yeah.
So it's fine. But no, I mean,
We've got two eyes.
well, yeah. Well, I can. Yeah. Let's try it then.
Sorry,
but, we'll crack on anyway.
I think we did focus on the QPR game when we had to, but it was good fun to watch the reactions of the opposite team where we were last season, obviously, and that's so refreshing to know we weren't in that position ourselves.
Batara, you said it was almost embarrassing the way Derby celebrated that staying up, and I know like every team has a right to celebrate staying up, but I don't know. What do you think?
Come on, mate. They celebrated probably more than Real Madrid did when they won their fourth Champions League in a row or whatever it was. But I don't know. Derby County celebrating like that.
Well, do you know what? If as a fan, if you'd have supported Derby County and they stayed up in that fashion, in that dramatic way, up until the 88th minute, Rotherham were staying up. I think I would have cheered the same.
Yeah, you're probably right. I'm probably just being a knob, to be honest. But
well, I didn't want to say
usual,
that.
But yeah, I just think I don't know. I mean, people have had little digs at us like Luton. Oh, why Luton celebrating like that, acting like they just won the FA Cup or this and that. All right, then. What about Derby? I'm sure Derby had a little dig at us a few times.
Yeah.
So, but no, look, who gives a shit about them anyway?
Yeah, it's not about them, is it?
No, it's about us.
We had a great time because we weren't stressed out on the last ever season for a change. Great.
It was a nice, chilled afternoon, wasn't it, watching the TV?
Brilliant, yeah.
And if you look at our game, 3-1 defeat to QPR, I don't know if this kind of flattered them a little because I thought that first half we were really good. We made 3 changes. Moncur came into the side, Cornick and Pelly for Potts, Colo and Tunney. And them changes kind of like surprised me, mainly because of like the contract talks for this season. Moncur, is he going to be here next year? Is Pelly going to be here? Is Potts going to be here?
Well, no one knows, do they? But I mean, look,
I think why not give him a go?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, at the end of the day, I thought there might be a few more changes in about the squad, but
I thought he might have even. We keep saying we haven't seen people like Morel play or whatever. Whatever's done, you thought he might just try some new guys out. He did at the end as well, didn't he? So why not? And you know what? We played really well.
Well, before we get into it more, let's look at some 3-word reviews of QPR 3, Luton Town 1. Dan says top half finish. Steve, bloody great season. Jamer says thank you, Kiernan. Daz says end product needed. Chris says big summer ahead. Megs says keep George Moncur. And Lewis says massive progress made. Some interesting ones there. Obviously, like, let's touch on J-Mo's. Thank you, Kiernan. Dewsbury Hall has been unreal this season. And look, every Luton fan wants him to stay and would love him to come back. Reality is it's not happening. And he's going to move on and go to
you'd think so, yeah.
A bigger and better club for next season for him, it's his career. So he has been incredible, though, this season.
I think, look, you look at people like Chowdhury, for example. I know we said it a few times, but you look at him, you compare him to Dewsbury Hall. For me, Dewsbury Hall was a much better player. I'm not a scout or whatever, but,
When Justin left to go to Leicester, he didn't get immediately in the team, but he's worked his way in the team. and up until injury,
Yeah.
he was good for them.
And automatically become one of their best players.
Yeah.
Let's
So
face it, he
why
did.
can't this guy? You keep saying, when you're developing players, if they're not in the team when they're younger, then they're not,
And he'd only played at League One level, remember? Whereas Dewsbury Hall had played at, Championship level.
Yeah, no,
Championship
sure.
level, should I say.
So I think he'll be knocking on the door of Leicester. I'll be very surprised if they loan him out. They'll probably loan him to a lower
Premier League
club.
Or a challenging
Championship side.
But if he wants to come back, we'll have him, right?
100% would have him.
Class.
I love the way producer Jacobs in our notes today has referred to Charlie Austin as Grandpa Austin. Well, he scored a goal, didn't he? It was quite early on, 20th minute, and it was just a poor goal to concede. And then I guess you could say it as not story of the season, but when it has, we have been pretty poor defensively in some games this season, and it does kind of feel like if we can eradicate them mistakes, then we might have finished higher in the table. But it's disappointing to concede, poor goals like that.
Well, yeah, of course. I mean, to be honest, I honestly thought the back four the other day was shite. Our back four.
Yeah, I didn't think the defence for that goal in particular was any good. I didn't really feel threatened by Queen's Park Rangers at that point.
No.
But so when they scored the goal, it was disappointing because we didn't defend it well.
I think the motivation wasn't there really either, was it? Obviously, I know people say obviously in the season or whatever else, but some people don't believe in it. They go, "Oh, yeah, you still play to win." But I just think you look around the leagues and like the Championship, especially on Saturday, there was so many goals in it. So many
there
goals.
was,
And why was that? Because I think most teams didn't really, have
No pressure.
Yeah, there's no pressure. Just go for it.
No
It's going
pressure,
end to
no
end.
fans. Yeah, I get that.
That's what I mean. And I just thought,
But
I looked at our shape sometimes and I just thought, that is not how we've set up. Like, that's not how we set up the whole season. And we were just, I don't know, look, I'm not saying we're poor. We were right. Yeah, we're decent enough. I don't think QPR are any better than us, but there was lapses at times. I think the structure of the team.
I think when the goal went in, I was disappointed because I didn't think that anyone deserved to be ahead. But then after that, I think we got a little bit more of a grip on the game, and I thought we were doing all right. I thought it was we were pushing forward, we were doing okay. But
We seem to be having a lot of joy down the left hand side with Moncur, and I think if we had a more clinical edge to us, we could have been 2 or 3 up in that first half, and I think QPR could have complained because there were times where we were getting in down the left hand side with Moncur a lot.
Sorry, how many times have we said, if you make a chance, and Nathan Jones says it, and we've said it on the podcast before, if you're making the chances, you've got to convert when you're on top. You have to convert at least 1 or 2, especially when you're away. And I think that you're right. If we'd have got 1 earlier, we'd have probably got a couple.
Yeah,
and game over for us then.
Swings the other way.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
But let's just hope that we're saving, the goals and the clinical finish until the first game of the season next season. So, hopefully that's the way.
You say get 1 earlier, but we did we equalised quite quickly, realistically. There was still plenty of time for us to go on and push on from equalising.
I think taking your chances when you create them, that's what I meant. We created so many before we scored. We did create quite a few chances. Converting 1 out of... how many shots did we have on... We had loads of shots. We had loads of shots, but
we
hardly
had about 12
any...
in the first half, didn't we? One on target.
But hardly any on target. And you've got to take your opportunities when you get a chance to score or shoot. You want, make the goalkeeper make a save at least.
Yeah,
well, before Kiernan's goal, the keeper did have to make a really good save from a free kick of ours. Sonny Bradley kind of guided the free kick. The keeper did a terrific save onto the post, didn't he? It was a great save.
How did he get that?
Well, this is it. I was expecting one of you lot to turn around and go, "Oh, fucking hell, Sonny Bradley should have put that away." And I tell you what, maybe at first you think, "Oh Christ, probably straight at him," but it was a good enough chance. I think
it's kind of a chance out of nothing, though, that from Sonny. So you can't really moan about it not going in.
Get some people that do moan, but I'm probably sitting here defending Sonny too much. But no, I mean, look, the keeper's done magic there, hasn't he? I mean, what a save! I mean, it doesn't matter who that is. If that's Collins or that's Ali Bayer doing that, you still turn around and say, you can't really do anything more with that.
No, the goalkeeper made a great save.
Yeah, I think he's on his right foot as well, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And then we did equalise. Dewsbury Hall got his goal in his final game in Luton shirt, which is what you love to see in it. He's been amazing all season, and he pops up at the right time after the ball broke away from a Moncur shot, and he did enough to put it past the keeper. Wasn't the cleanest connection, but it didn't have to be. Bounced its way in. Why not?
It was written for him, wasn't it?
I find it quite strange that the goalkeeper could be really great for the Bradley chance and not stop that one. But
was he unsighted though, the keeper?
I would say he's unsighted, and when it comes out to him with that much space and the whole goal to hit, he's kind of he's going to be laid down.
That's the
isn't
thing,
he?
and sometimes, like if you're playing goal, sometimes the ball's like hit, say like a bit close to you. I think sometimes it's more difficult to get lower to get the ball.
Okay.
Whereas like you just give yourself a little stretch and a momentum to get across the goal. But I mean, look, you see goals like that every single week. You see goals like that in the Premier League. So I wouldn't really say, oh yeah, what about if he scored that, but yet the keeper saved that. I don't know. I don't really look at things like that because there's many like factors to scoring a goal, isn't there? So
I mean, at 1-1 though, it's nothing more than we deserve. We deserve to be there and maybe in front at that time. I thought we were playing some really good footy.
It was end to end again, wasn't it? But like Rotherham game.
Like we said, a little bit relaxed.
Mm-hmm.
And we did go into half time, drawing 1-1, and then come out in the second half. Maybe we were hoping for a bit of a better performance in the second half, but I don't know if our attention was taken away by the Derby Sheffield Wednesday game on the telly. But I feel like
it popping over there, wasn't it?
It didn't seem like much really happened in that second half. We didn't have as much freedom as we did on that left-hand side with Moncur in that first half. It just didn't seem to quite click in the second half.
No, I agree. I mean, like you say, it probably was due to the fact that he probably was watching the other game slightly more, but I don't know. It's just
I think
about that.
I think QPR came out. They probably had a rocket put up them. I think, if I'm honest, I don't think.
Were they really that?
I don't think they were that.
Second half, though.
I thought they were more on the ball than we were at the beginning of the second half for definite.
I think we just dropped off massively. We shut down, didn't we? Second half.
Yeah.
Was it due to QPR? I'm not too sure, but look, it sounds weird, but it's one of those games. I sort of look back on it and think, yeah, it's good to talk about the game, but fuck it.
It just doesn't matter, does it?
Yeah,
It really
I don't know. Man, I don't know.
if you had to define end of season game, that was it, wasn't it? That was two teams in the top half with nothing to play for, just having a game of football.
It'd be nice. The only thing is, though, it would have been nice to beat QPR, Dave. You kept saying it.
I can't stand playing Queen's Park Rangers. I can't stand it. I can't remember the last time I went there and we beat them. I can't. Every time we've been recently, it's been a draw or a loss, and I hate it. And so, had we all been behind that goal, we'd have been screaming at the team to win. So, and then the team, I think that's another factor there. You might be the end of the game, end of the season, but if it's the end of the season, you've got a packed house and you've got your full set of fans behind you, they might have stepped up a little bit more, but you can't doubt the commitment to the football club by the players. You can't.
And QPR went ahead when Alyssa's chair slid and passed through to Johansson, made it 2-1 past Luger. The defence looked quite annoyed at that goal. I think Sonny Bradley had a bit of like a little moan, but once again, you look at it back and it's just an easy goal, which I think we've said too many times this season.
Well, yeah, but I said too many times this season, but not too many times recently, I'd say.
No. And I don't say that as like a dig or anything, but like you just, it's one of them things that you think if we can address that, then we can improve and kick on. That's what I'm thinking. Yeah, if you can cut out them silly goals and
at the end of the day, we've got to remember that we finished 12th, right? We eradicate every single error that we're making. We're finishing in the top three.
Yeah.
Or top four, you know what I'm saying? We're actually probably above that because even the top teams make mistakes.
And then every team in the league can say, oh, if only we would have done this, we didn't concede that goal.
I wouldn't really look too much at it. I mean, Saturday, I wouldn't really look at, it was Saturday, of course it was. But I wouldn't really look at it and go, oh, this and that on Saturday, we picked up I look back on certain games, I think, we probably should have won that game. I think you can maybe look at gaining another sort of 6 points over the season. For me, it would have been a fair reflection of the season, another 6-7 points, personally. But,
I just think we
can't really look at all the games.
I get the thing, there are too many soft goals this season, but the consequence of that overall doesn't matter.
Yeah, we had a little crumbling
we would have been better.
Yeah.
We would have been better further up the table, but we'll take the highest point score we've had for a long time in this league. We'll take the fact that we didn't have any crap going on at the end of the season. So it's just, had it been anybody else but QPR, I might have been a little bit less bothered about it.
I'm really unbothered by it, but either way.
Yeah.
I want to...
all are, to be honest. Every single Luton fan should be unbothered by it.
Well, I just want to smash through the rest of this game and then we'll move on. They made it 3-1, easy tapping down the round side, blah, blah, blah. We don't even need to touch on that. Dion Pereira came on for his debut, replaced James Bree. Producer Jacob says, did he impress you? From what we saw of him, I thought he looked all right. I saw him at a work game when Brentford B played a Luton 11 or Luton under 23s. And to be honest, he looked all right. He scored 2 goals that day. And
Looks all right, scored 2 goals. What else do they have to do, mate, to look decent?
his goals were tap-ins from keeper mistakes, to be fair to him.
But you have to be there, you have to be. That's a sign of a good striker.
He did have that bit of when he got on the ball, you could tell that he was, that bit of flair that made him stand out from the other under 23s.
Yeah.
So it was good to see him come on.
Look, he came on the other day. I mean, straight away, I think he took a couple of people, beat him, and then he pulled the ball back with his right foot. And I think we maybe could have scored from it. I don't know, he pulled it back to you. But anyway, a couple of times he got 3 down the right-hand side. I think a little counter-attack at one point and cuts in, cuts out.
It's nice to make a sub like that, though, isn't it? Because I feel like it's been a while since we've kind of put someone on for their debut. And it's, it's quite nice to have I don't know how, he's not quite a youngster, but a young player. He's a young player. He's not, he's got a lot to learn. And potentially, from what we saw on Saturday, could be a bit of a talent.
And what an experience for him, getting his first team debut like that.
Do you reckon maybe a loan would help him out?
No, I just think we should to be honest, I think we should keep him. Don't loan him out. I think we need to keep him and maybe sort of like get him into the team gradually.
I think that depends on how we strengthen the squad in the summer.
Well, this is it. I mean, if we get rid of players though, like certain players might be going, wingers, I think why don't we just, keep him in there and, try and progress him as our own. Because I think we could have kept like a couple of players this season, maybe like Kioso, we could have kept him in. I don't think he's pretty benefited from the loan. But the second half of the season, I think we could have easily brought him back. I
tell you what, Kioso in the last half an hour posted, I was watching it before we started this, a show reel of his best stuff this season.
Has he?
Man, he looks cracking.
He is, he's phenomenal.
He looks class.
We all know this, come on man, we've watched him, we all know this.
And the way I look at it, right, is
Pereira can be like that as well.
I know we spoke last week about Kioso and about how he's played in League 2 and how, he's preparing for that step up, but some of the crosses he's putting in, I think, that doesn't matter if you're in League 2, League 1, Championship or the Premier League. If you can put a ball in like that...
Yeah, if it's in the danger area.
If it's in the right place all the time, that you can step up to that league.
You think, right, if you've got the quality to put the ball like something I haven't seen the highlight reel. Obviously, I've seen some highlights of him anyway this season on Twitter and whatever else. Obviously, I follow him closely. But what I'm saying is if you can put in the delivery and whatever else in League 2, League 1, with all due respect, the strikers aren't as good, the attacking players aren't as quick, they're not as mobile. If you can get a player at that level to get onto it like that.
Yeah.
And in a championship, you're going to probably get a lot more. For me, if you get, it all depends on how many chances you can create as a team as well. Possession, it comes down to possession, how you turn the ball over and vice versa and what your role is in the team. I get that.
You'd be very surprised. You'd be very surprised if he's not part of our
he has to be in the next season.
He has to be. Yeah, you'd be very surprised.
And I think Pereira will be as well.
Yeah, and that's the right thing. But the right thing for Kioso was go out on loan.
Yeah, and it's got him. Look what he's done to him.
It's exciting, really, when you think about it.
It could feel like a new signing, especially with Brie at right back maybe not being fully fit still or missing. He's missed a lot of games this season, Brie, hasn't he? So,
we had this conversation on Saturday. I think I said to you as well. Luke, if you was listening or whatever, you like to ignore me sometimes. You're
brilliant.
Like that, but I said to you boys on Saturday. I said there with Brie. Obviously, I like Brie. But sometimes I think he's very basic and I don't really see what he excels in one point of the game. Whereas Kioso, I can see what he brings. And I think, I'd love that in my team. I like Brie. There's nothing against Brie, but sometimes I think he's not the most mobile in the world. He's not exactly rapid. All right, he's got a decent delivery when he puts the ball in, which he hardly does. But look, there's nothing against him. It's probably the way he's been told to play or the way he is. You know what I mean? Keep the ball and whatever else. Kioso, for me, he'll take a chance, he'll beat a man, he'll overlap, and the guy is fit as fuck, mate. He'll be up and down that wing all day, every day. I love that. And that, for me personally, that's what I want.
It's going to be an exciting start to his Luton career, hopefully, and maybe see him in the team. I think it's time for him to step up. I do. Yeah. Let's get into...
We were talking about Pereira as well, weren't we, then? We got into Kioso again.
Yeah, no,
we always do this.
I thought we'd touch on both of them.
Yeah.
I thought we'd touch on both. 2 youngsters coming up through the you can't really call it youth, but they're just coming into it, aren't they? And it's nice to see, and it's what we like. Let's take a look at the season then as a whole. We've got some questions that producer Jacob put out on Twitter earlier on today. Best goal, best moment, best player, underrated player, and next season's prediction. If you said best goal, I think we were asked this question last week or something, weren't we? Or a couple of weeks ago we were asked best goal, and we kind of didn't really think about it beforehand, and we all just sat there going,
Come back to next week. That's what we said. Yeah, of course. Yeah, I remember now. Yeah.
But this season, this week on the podcast, you guys have actually made some notes. And what have you got? What have you gone for best goal?
Brief notes, anyway.
Can
I just do you want me to start this one off? Just
go for it
a little bit. So best goal for me would be George Moncur's against Norwich.
Yeah.
And do you all know why?
You were there.
Because I was there. It's the first goal. The only goal, well, so not the only goal, but the first goal that I saw back in Kenilworth Road this season.
Wow.
So for me, and it was a pretty special goal as well.
It was a class goal, wasn't it? When you look at that back, I feel like that's been a bit of an underrated goal this season. I think it's gone kind of under the radar. You forget how good it was.
Yeah, maybe for you
nice
boys,
little
you weren't
curler
there, but for me, it's always been on the radar, boys. Sorry about that.
I think my biggest problem is I can't remember the whole season. That's all right. I don't mind. I'll just remember that when we go next season. It's really difficult for me to pick out a goal because I just can't remember them all. I look at Loire against Wickham. That was a smashing strike. But then I liked Moncur's free kick against Wickham. Sheffield Wednesday goals.
Yeah.
So it's a bit difficult.
Even Pelly's against Wickham earlier on in the season as well.
Yeah.
Remember that one?
Yeah, it's a good one.
So there are so many. And to say one, well, without saying the obvious one, it's difficult, isn't it?
What about you?
What about you?
Oh, what about me? I'm thinking the one of Collins against Preston.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That ball from Pelly.
That's my second one, yeah.
I think it was like a nice little touch from Dewsbury Hall into Pell, and he does like this diagonal ball.
It's hoofs it, basically.
And Colo does the best chest control and tucks it away. And you think, you know what, fair play. That's a good goal. That's a good goal.
Yeah, no, I agree. That's like I said, that's up there for me as well. Second for me. That's the only two I put down was the Moncur v Norwich, and obviously then Colo v Preston.
But we have scored some real good goals this season, though. We really have. And, I like Adebayo's header against Sheffield Wednesday. I love a goal like that. I know it's probably not like goal of the season, but...
Yeah, of course. But no, look, it's a good goal.
I love it.
Especially his header against Wickham as well.
Yeah.
Like, we can go on all day long, really, about this.
And then Luala's Thunderbolt again against Wickham.
Can I just raise one from earlier on in the season? I'm pretty sure it might be the second game or whatever. I think it was Norrington Davis whipped it in to Jordan Clark and he headed it.
Yes.
I think
Derby.
Was it in the?
Yes.
Was it Derby? Was it?
Derby, yeah.
Was it not against Reading in the cup?
Yeah, that one as well. Well, yeah, they did it. I think they combined twice in a week, didn't they? Norrington Davis to Clark for a header.
Yeah.
Oh, you got to love a header, man.
Yeah.
Love it. But yeah.
It was class. This is what you guys said for best goal. Darren says Collins against Watford. Barney says Collins v Barnsley. Loyal Luton Supporters Club said Adebayo winner against Sheffield Wednesday.
Yeah,
I just said that. Anthony Tunnicliffe v Forest for the pass from Pelly.
Yeah.
Was that on the left? He cuts back in and then whips it. Was that one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good one.
And
Can't argue against them, can you?
that Collins Barnsley one as well. Another nice little touch from Pelly. So, hear this, mate. The theme here. Pelly.
Yeah.
Pelly into someone.
Look, mate, I've got nothing against
Goal of
Pelly,
the season.
But
No, I'm just bantering.
yeah, the keeper should have saved it though, but never mind.
All right, best moment of the season. What are we saying?
Without any
we all
doubt
know.
whatsoever,
Yeah,
you can't see
come on.
anything other than
Everyone
that,
said
that
Collins.
glorious
It's
1-0.
got to be. Anyone who doesn't say, anyone who says differently to that, sort yourself out, man. Come on.
Yeah.
That is mental,
I think it's an easy one, isn't it? We've had some great moments this season, but the one we were all waiting for was the 17th of April, and we were all hoping for
But the thing,
a moment like we got. And, we got it.
the moment was the whole game, not just the score, not just the penalty, the whole game.
I'll go one better. I'll say the moment was the whole day. For us, we were at the Weatherspoons at 10 o'clock in the morning, having breakfast, having some drinks. We made a whole day of it.
Yeah, no
Football was on at 12:30.
Drunk about 2. No, actually, no. Well, I went for a crate by myself, but yeah.
Barbecue in the evening, you know.
Don't remember getting home.
But it was the fact that, that could have been a different day in the evening, totally. But we totally took it to them and we totally smashed it. I know it was only 1-0, but we smashed them. I don't care they've gone up because, you know what? We'll have the bragging rights in the game again.
Yeah, I'll tell you
Loved
what,
it. I loved it. It was great.
That's
It was
it.
just a brilliant performance, and it's just a shame we weren't there.
And for a lot of us, Luton fans, especially even my age, look, I'm nearly 26 years old. That's the first time I've ever seen Luton beat Watford. But sorry, it's the same with you.
Yeah.
And I'm sure for a lot of our listeners who are similar age to us, it's the first time they've ever seen Luton beat Watford. So it's a massive deal. And it is one I know we're in a pandemic and stuff, but it's one you'll always remember.
It's a shame we weren't there though, really, wasn't it? It was just that's the most awful thing about that day was the fact that we weren't there. But look, we had a great day. We all got absolutely smashed. We had a little sing song or whatever else. Woke up next morning with a sore throat. I think we all did. Yeah.
I think that's also
Amazing.
what you just said about age is the reason that a lot of people, the hashtag teams like Luton goes on, because they only see Luton from recent history. They only see us from the conference. We're Little Luton all of the time. You know what? Little Luton turn them over. The multi-million pound team that they are. You know, the multi-million pound.
Let's face it, that 1-0 wasn't just, a smash and grab. That was a dominant 1-0 win as well. That was a good fuckery that was.
I suppose the other best moment of that game was Andre Gray realising that... Andre Gray?
Jeez, right.
Andre Gray realising that it was offside. Or we seeing it was offside. That was just as good.
Do you know what, right? Actually, best moment. Oh, hang on a minute. That's another of a best moment, isn't it?
What, Andre Gray's offside?
And then Andre Gray's offside. What's better?
Because for a good 5 seconds, I fully believed that my whole day was ruined.
Do you know what? I said, anyone needs to get their head sorted. I didn't think that was. Do you know what? It's out of the two now. I can't pick. Do you know what? I need to stop my own head out. It's ridiculous.
No, I think we've already decided, Bataro. It's the game. And the result and the performance and the afters that we had afterwards with the drinking and the barbecuing and the laughing. It was great. Absolutely great day.
Social distance as well.
The next one producer Jacob asked us about was underrated player. And this was something we spoke about before we came on to the podcast today. And I've just said came onto the podcast again. It's another weird thing to say. Before we started the podcast.
Bring that up. Think of that. No. I was only going, ooh, like that.
I can't just say before we came on the podcast. Like, it's just weird, isn't it?
No, that's naughty.
You don't want to say stuff like that. I'm sorry. I apologise. Underrated player this season is a tough question, I think, because, like we said earlier, we were like, I don't know who. And then you said Jordan Clark. And I was like...
He's not under it, no.
No one's really underrated Jordan Clark. Everyone this season has said he's unreal and he's brilliant. Have you guys picked anyone for an underrated player?
Yep.
Go on then.
Oh, excuse me. Bit of gas there.
Yeah, if you talk at the mic, we'll hear you.
Yeah, anytime today, mate.
No, basically. Right, I'm going to go for Harry Cornick up there. I know people like to slate him, but I think he does a lot of running for the team. All right, not always the product, but Cornick for me gets underrated because I've seen a lot of people bash him this season, like proper go into him as well. But if you actually look at him, he's not that bad. He's not done a bad job. He puts in the yards as well, but apart from that, Sluga.
Do you know what? I don't think he's underrated at all. I think everybody's appreciated that Sluga's come on a lot this season, and he's a better keeper than he was when he started.
But do you not think that people don't also talk about him enough?
Oh, okay. If you go like that, but
I think people need to start talking about him as one of the best goalkeepers in the league this season. I really think that. People might say I'm a bit stupid saying that, but I honestly think what I've seen this season, he's saved us a lot of points. I think he saved us more points this season
than he
conceded last season.
Yeah.
So that's for me. It's got to be probably Sluga.
Good call.
If I think of the top of my head, like he made one massive save in that Forest game, or maybe even a couple before we went 1-0 up and won that game. So he's like you said, he's won us a lot of points this season. And maybe, like you said, maybe it's time. Is Sluga one of the best in the Championship this season? Realistically,
he looks, mate. I'll tell you what. If you compare him to some of the,
I think
quoted best keepers in the league.
Well, you got Begovic. You've got, to be fair, that Brad Collins at Barnsley's done all right this season.
Yeah.
I think my issue is underrated. If they're underrated, it means that you're not noticing how good they are, right? But most of our team are putting a right shift this season, so I find it very hard to pick one. I
also think
do you know who I'm
Berry as well.
You going to say Berry?
When he's underrated when he plays as well.
Yeah.
Go on, Grace. What are you saying, mate?
I'm going to say Pelly Rudder Campanzi.
Everyone fucking raves about him.
I just feel like, Batara, I know you're not his biggest fan. I know Pelly has his critics, right?
I love him as a person.
I think Pelly has his critics, and sometimes I think, you know what? I think he does a lot for the team. There's a reason he's in the team week in, week out. Mm-hmm. The manager trusts him. He can pop up with an assist. Yeah, he does have his off games, but so does everyone. And I think for a player to be that consistent for 2 seasons in the Championship and play that many games, for me, that's class.
By consistent, what do you mean by consistent? Sorry.
Well, look, the thing with Pelly, right? He's consistent. No, but he is consistent, isn't he? It's like you know what you're going to get with Pelly. It's not like you play Tom Ince, for example.
I don't feel like we do know what we're going to get sometimes with Pelly. I'll be honest, the last sort of like 8 or 9 games, I think he's been phenomenal. One of our best players. I'll be up there. Yeah. I'm the first to say it to you boys. But
he's still. You know what? You can't you can't deny he's been with us a long time now.
I love him for that,
And,
I
yeah.
love him as a human
So-
being. I think he's brilliant. I don't know the guy personally, but I think he's excellent.
I know we've had the conversation before, but you've got to almost give him legend status now, Batara.
I just think for like a player to come in and, you know, maybe he's not brilliant every week, but then maybe he's not absolutely terrible every week. And for me, he's like that consistent, like, you know, you can put him in your team and trust him. You know, you know that's what I think. I don't know if I'm just talking rubbish right now, but that's what I feel.
Right, yeah, no, I get that. But what I was going to say is, you know, like they say, like sometimes with me, I think it's like, you know, what's that saying? You take it out on the ones you love the most. And sometimes I love Pelly that much. I think, like I keep saying, it's not like, oh, I'm a fanboy, nothing like that. I think the guy's phenomenal for the club. As a person, that's what we need. But sometimes I just want him to do better because I know he can do better. And I keep saying it. It's like a broken fucking record, and I keep saying it. And if Pell ever hears this, it's nothing against you, Pell. You're the man. But come on, mate. Sometimes on the pitch, get your.
I just feel like he's our like James Milner or like Gareth Barry type of player that's been like with your club for ages, and you just know they'll do a job. That's the kind of player I feel Pelly's been for the last couple of years. Like,
Would you be?
yeah, he's not the most talented player. Maybe we have.
See, I disagree with that. He's one of the most talented players I think we've got.
But what are you basing that on?
It doesn't.
Oh, the odd game.
It's turned down a little bit.
No, because
hang on a minute. Whoa.
No, because I'm saying like, I think he's like consistently like. I think he's consistently good, but like.
See, I disagree.
And I'm saying he's not like the most talented player in the squad. Like I think he does come up with a bit of quality every now and again. But I feel like he's the type of player that he can sit in the midfield all season, and I'm just happy for that.
See, I disagree.
He'd do a job.
I'll be honest, I disagree with that. The consistency is not there, mate, for me. Okay. For me, the consistency is nowhere near, and I just think that he has got talent. I think he's got some serious talent, but he don't pull it out, and nowhere near enough.
He wouldn't get picked. He wouldn't
no.
get picked if the manager didn't think he could do it. So
no, but I think that Nathan Jones. Obviously, I don't know. I'm going to say it. Fucking look at me. I think I know what I'm talking about. I'm talking shit. But no, what I'm saying is, the boy has got some serious talent, and he really does. He produces moments of magic. I mean, the last like I said, the last 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks. Do you know what? Even 5 or 6 weeks. I'm going to say it. He has been unreal, phenomenal.
Wow.
Would you be disappointed though? Would you be disappointed if he left us this season?
Yes,
I'd be disappointed.
Well, there you go then. So he did.
I'd be gutted.
Because I know that he's going to get better. He's still going to get better. I'm telling you now, he's going to get better. People think, oh no, this is Pelly. You know, he's consistent. No, he's not consistent. He's going to get better. That's what I'm telling you now. He's going to get better. And if he doesn't, then I'm an idiot.
Well, it's a good debate. This is what you guys said for underrated player. Darren says Jordan Clark. Barney says Bree. Loyal Luton Sports Club said Glenn Ray as most underrated. Yeah, and Anthony said Cornick. He agreed with you. What do you reckon, Glenn Ray?
I love Glenn Ray, so yeah. I think he gets a lot of stick. But is he another one that everyone knows what he's about and he gets stick because he misplay? This is the thing, right? Glenn Ray, I see, gets slated all the time. Every time he has a bad game.
Social media went a bit nuts about him on Tuesday night last week against
Rotherham. He made a couple of errors or whatever. But what about when Pelly does that? No one goes absolutely nuts when Pelly does it. This is what annoys me.
You do?
Yeah, no, of course I do, because I see it all the time, right? People slating Glenn Ray, whatever. I understand it. I can sit there and go, fair enough, he gets the criticism. But other players don't. I know everything's biased, right? I'm going to say it's biased. Of course it is. Sonny Bradley, for me, can't put a foot wrong. Although when he does, I sit there and go, fuck it, no, why's he done that? Jesus Christ, I'm going to get it now. But look, for me, that is the difference. Because Pelly is so sentimental to the club and people love him so much, he can't see past that sometimes. With Glenn Ray, he has like one bad game. He might have 6 amazing games or be more consistent really overall, but people rather dig him out. Do you see what, you probably don't get this because, anyway, fuck it, whatever. End of the season stuff. Podcast, I'm not going to get into it because I start.
Yeah, save it for next season, mate. Let's save it for next season. What's your next season prediction then? That's the final question producer Jacob asked us for today.
Can we play a little game? Can you all guess what Dave's going to say? Avoid relegation.
Oh, well, you're wrong because I put down my best player first and then I put down, I hope we're pushing for the playoffs. So I didn't say avoid. I mean, avoid relegation. That's the first thing, but no, push for playoffs.
Yeah. Do you know what? I'd be happy with another top half finish, another 12th place. That would do me. Do you know? Even if
can we not skirt with the just?
I'd be happy just to stay up again. Give us 16th and I'll be happy.
All depends on recruitment in the summer as well.
It does all repent. It does.
So
I think you look at.
So what have I said? So I've been the most positive out the three of us for change.
Dave.
What's going on? There's something
it's
wrong
going to
there.
be. Well, it's going to be a really another tough division, isn't it? And I think
Well, it is going to be a tough division, but it was no tougher than it would be this year. You've got the 3 coming down from the Premier League. You've got a couple of good teams coming up from League One.
can I just say, I thought last season was very difficult. I mean, who went down? Was it? Who was in the last place of the relegation zone last season? Was it Charlton? How many points did they finish on? Was it 51 or something like that, or 50?
I think 49 won it or something.
Or was it this season?
47.
This season, Derby stayed up with 45 points, was it?
Something silly like that. 45, yeah.
Yeah, I think last season might have one of the highest points tally or something like that for like the bottom teams,
Yeah,
something
yeah.
like that as well. So for me, I thought last season was a very difficult.
And this season,
You
was a
can't
bit-
predict it though.
This is the first season for a long time that the relegated Premier League teams, 2 of them have gone straight back up.
Just waiting for Bournemouth to do a hat trick.
Well, no, I hope they don't.
No, no.
I hope they don't. You know, for somebody's sake, sitting opposite us. But
Pay rise.
yeah, but
Yeah, that's still the only reason.
but Hull are back. Peterborough be on a roll. You know,
Well, that's the thing. And if you get Sunderland up through the
maybe
playoffs,
Sunderland
then
or Lincoln.
Backing, the teams with the backing as well.
They'll have a bit of backing. So, you know,
Not
it's
worried
not
about
going to be
it, no.
easy next season, but I think what we've done is sort of established ourselves more.
And I think it's given the players that will stay on for next. Well, let's face it, we're going to have probably like 5, 6, 7 of them players that are playing now will still be in the squad or in and around the team, and they'll know they'll have they've finished 12th this season. There's going to be more momentum from there. They're going to do you know what? We're good enough to do this. We know we can do it. We've done it. We've controlled teams like your Scummers and your Norwiches and whatever else. So they can do it. We know they can. So why not?
And hopefully we get rid of the teams like Luton Tag.
Yeah.
I don't think we'll ever get rid of that. You get Sheffield United fans coming down and saying the exact same thing, won't you? And
Well, we
You
could.
probably have Sheffield Wednesday fans doing it from League One. Oh yeah, by the way, Sheffield Wednesday. See ya.
Yeah.
Fuckers.
And you can vote on the teams like Luton thing on Twitter at the moment if you want to go and look at it.
Yeah, indeed. So that's what you guys said about next season's prediction. Darren says, every season I say, as long as we don't get involved in the last game of the season panic, I'm happy. I would take a last day of the season panic to win the league, though.
Well, yeah, I'll take that, but
Not sure that'd be classed as a panic, would
That's
it?
a different panic, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's more anticipation. We don't want to go through that absolute. If we lose or we draw, we,
Yeah, all
get
them scenarios
relegated.
go
No,
in
not
your
a
head.
chance.
No, of course.
Barney says, doesn't mind finishing 11th. Loyal Luton Supporters Club says upper mid-table. And Anthony says anything between 7th and 16th would be fine.
Well, there you go. So
Expectation, realism as well. Yeah, of course. 100%.
look, but it'd be nice to be flirting with the
But
playoffs.
let's just dream. Yeah, let's just dream we're going to go
Dream
to
for a
the
little
playoffs. I mean,
bit, yeah.
Barnsley did it. Look, I said beginning of the season, I said even when they're on a shit run at the beginning of the season, Barnsley are a good side. We are also a good side. So why can't we do it? Why can't we?
It's like you said, it depends on the recruitment this summer.
But yeah, look.
It's a big window again.
I trust the board. I trust the scouting team. Look, they know what they're doing, man. Come on. How many gems have we pulled out from cheap and lower leagues and whatever else? I mean, half these players that we've got in the squad have been with us since League 2, for Christ's sake. Do you know what I mean? So
I think let's look at the summer recruitment and then decide then. But like you say, let's be safe. Let's not panic, and if we can push on and get a better position than we were in this season,
of course, and
really
get rid
good.
of some of the dead wood that's
But the
taken up
most important
salary
thing
as well.
is that we're going. I can't wait. Literally can't wait.
Yeah, I'll get my jab. That is
Back at the stadium. Things we love to hear. Let's do one Instagram question today. I didn't want to go too much into them, but I like this one from Josh, who said, sum up the season in 3 words. So all this time we've been asking for 3-word reviews. If you had to do a 3-word review of this season, what would it be?
Stress-free enjoyment.
I like that. That's nice.
Stress-free enjoy. That's really good.
Mine was going to be we beat Watford.
Oh,
Yeah,
you.
ain't better.
Was that going to be yours as well, Dave? Yeah.
I was, sadly. So, come on, you hatters. There you go. That'll do me.
Come on, you hatters. Is that,
Yeah.
Come on,
that
you
3?
hatters. That's 4,
Yeah,
Dave.
it doesn't matter.
Sorry, man.
It just doesn't matter to me because I couldn't say the one that he said.
It's fine.
I had 4-word review. I love Luton.
Maybe we'll bring in 4-word review next year instead of 3-word review.
Or we
No,
can
I
just,
don't,
or we can
because
just
this
give
makes
it
it worse.
teams like Luton.
Teams like Luton.
Back
That's a good one.
home soon.
Yes.
Yes.
Can't wait.
I'm gonna. No, actually, don't worry about that. No.
Nathan
I'm getting
Jones.
pissed.
Nathan Jones tattoo.
Yeah.
It's coming. I know it's coming. Either way, what? Are we laughing because I said it's coming? No? Okay, I thought we were laughing because I said something inappropriate again.
No.
Get your
But-
mind.
You two in the
Get
you're
your
in the
mind
wrong
out of the
place. And
gutter.
you haven't even been drinking. That's even the worst thing about it.
Well, look, this is the final podcast of the season, as in reviewing a game. And like once again, we thank you, the listener, for supporting us all through the last year. We've had a lot of fun again doing another year of podcasts. And I was having a chat with producer Jacob the other day. We have a lot of plans for over the summer. We might take a week off next week, depending on if we potentially get an interview for next week. But we're working on it. And I also said to producer Jacob, we should do like a England podcast when the Euro's on.
Or a
Really?
charity boxing match. Me versus you, Gregory.
Well, that's just completely random and out of nowhere, but I'm quite happy just to do an England podcast.
Yeah, fair enough.
Look, why not? Euros are on. England game. Oh, when England.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Should we just do live
sort
commentary over it? Like,
No.
nah.
Look, we got plenty
You're
of
awful, innit?
content still to be made, and we've got it. Someone's promised us an interview when the season ended, so we're working on it. And then we're also looking at trying to get someone else and we got it sorted. Don't worry. So hopefully lots of When the Town episodes to come over the summer break, which will be great. So thanks so much for listening to us this whole season. Thanks so much for listening today. And if you want to go watch us, you can go do that on YouTube. When the Town, search that up. And I think next season as well, we're going to try and go bigger and better with the podcast, and it's going to be exciting.
Great.
Yeah, it's been a good season, hasn't it? Eh?
Yeah.
All
Great
smiling still.
It's
Heart feels great.
It's as good as last season finish, really, wasn't it? I'm pleased, and I can't wait for the next one because we can actually go back to the Kenny.
Do you know what, right?
Can't wait.
The whole enjoyment, the whole day out as well is going to be great, innit? That first, even if it's home or away,
Can you imagine
seeing
that
the
first,
same faces again, having a beer, it's going to be great.
You imagine that first away game. It's going to be phenomenally good.
Yeah,
Can't wait.
perfect. Oh, here we go.
Here's to
It's
another
coming
season
back.
of When the Town. Thanks
It's
so much for
coming home.
listening. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you soon.